Hi, I'm homosexual Brian Safi.
And I am feminasty Erin Gibson.
And this is Attitudes.
Gender issues.
LGBT plus issues.
Pop culture.
I'm going through a terrible breakup right now. Can you handle it?
Are you really?
Yes, Erin, I am. I'm going...
Do you want to talk about it?
I do, actually. I would like to talk about it. I never really talk about the people I'm in relationships on this. It's been a while, really. And let me put it to you this way. This week I have tightened my buttons. I have answered the question, don't ya, with no, I don't. And I'm grown up, so I don't need anyone to tell me when to grow up. And if you don't
okay,
know what
so if I'm to extrapolate what happened from that.
Okay.
Using my let
me put it this way.
Detective
I'm now
skill.
a pussy dog, not a pussy cat.
Oh, because you're gonna go take what you want in this world?
I don't know if you know this, Erin, but the person who I've been seeing and adoring and laying out my love for, the one and only Nicole Scherzinger.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were talking about something for real.
Excuse me.
You're talking about her going on fucking Goldie Hawn's husband's page or something. Who else is a Trump supporter?
Do you mean Russell Brand?
Russell Brand. But also, is it Goldie Hawn's husband a Trump supporter?
I believe so.
Kurt Russell.
So. Not only that, Erin, she's doubled down a few more times. There was more than just that like, okay? There was also the fact that she has been liking stuff that like Tucker Carlson has done. Not to mention, she finally issued something on her Instagram that said, essentially, let me put it, you know what I'm not doing today is quoting Nicole Scherzinger. That's not happening.
It sounds like that's exactly what you're doing.
So what she said, essentially, on her Instagram was, it's gotten back to me that I've upset a lot of people. I'm really sorry. I always will stand with my sisters in arms. I always will stand with the LGBT plus. I will never not be an ally. I love those people no matter what. And I will always stand with you. Da, da, da. And I'm like, hold on a minute, sister. Not this election, baby. Not this. Maybe in when Lincoln was up against Douglas, we could talk about that debate. Do you understand? But
come at me when it's Dukakis v. Bush, okay?
In this day and age, there is no loving queer people. There's no sisterly love. Who, by the way, when I went to go see Sunset Boulevard on Broadway, it was the only time in my life that they let men go in the women's restroom, because for the first time, the men's restroom was about 20 times longer than the women's, because it was only gay men at Sunset Boulevard. Okay? That's who went to go see that show.
I honestly, I don't care how fucking good her voice is. I'll go to any high school audition for...
Well, you could also just see another exceptional Broadway performer, Erin.
No.
I mean, it doesn't have to be...
It's her or nothing.
Oh, I see.
It's her or the Legally Blonde production.
I mean, Idina Menzel, Kristen Chenoweth,
Yes.
Audra McDonald, the list really does.
Where do these women stand?
I think on the right side. I'm going to go ahead and
good.
say.
Well, that's good. So
I am not going to release my statement to the press just yet. I'm not ready to. You understand? It's going to be a tough time for me, because that show really, I thought she was going to go down in the annals of history, and now it turns out it's going to be annals.
Thank you for telling us who you are.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. Next. That's what that song's about in my mind now.
Nicole Scherzinger.
Makes
me sad. It really does make me sad. It's a bummer to lose that one, but hey.
Hey, you know
That's
what?
The way it's going.
You know what she could do?
No one is that dumb in this day and age. No one is that dumb in this day. For this election, no one is that dumb.
She needs her Lena Dunham Taylor Swift moment. And I don't know if she's going to get it.
I do feel like she's actually, see, now I'm a softie. I do feel like she's one good sit down conversation away from changing, from feeling like, wow, I didn't know that.
Yet, wouldn't you think that would have already happened for her, considering the industry she's in?
I mean, listen, if it won't even work on my own parents, and I'm like, you're voting against your daughter's rights and my rights. You know?
I'm sorry, the force is strong with this one.
Yeah.
You know?
I think you're right.
I think somebody who's undecided, maybe. But if you vote for straight up Trump, you're dead to me.
I'm with you. I really am with you.
It's over.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to speak to you. If you would like to be on the right side of history, you do the fucking work.
So I did.
Because I'm fucking tired.
I did go buy a Snickers with almond on the way home from work today.
After you found that out?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you feel better?
Do you want to know why I liked it?
Snickers with almond.
I've never craved one ever. For some reason, I thought, you know what? I want a Snicker, but I don't want a peanut. But I don't want a Milky Way. What am I to do?
It sounds like you did figure this out, which is good.
I got a Snickers with almond. You should have seen me in 7-Eleven. I mean, really walking in, almost hitting the 6-foot sign, if you understand, when you in the doorway.
Oh, because you were unhinged?
Right.
Okay.
I was walking especially tall. And I'm going to tell you, the nougat in Snickers with almond is so much better than the regular Snickers.
I don't believe you.
Erin, I wish they would use the same nougat in a regular Snickers bar than they do in a Snickers with almonds.
Can you
Which is, by the way, a Snickers with almonds is an old-fashioned Mars bar in the States.
Can you guess? We are teasing our new bonus series called Candy Bars.
I'd love that. Remember, I reinvented the Twix.
I do remember. Yeah, you won't let me forget it. Yeah. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What is nougat?
So this is a very complicated thing. So nougat is essentially when
you're okay. You are looking it up right now. Okay, you are actually Googling it at this very second.
Nougat
I saw your fingers moving on the computer.
I'm trying to think of how to put it in layman's terms. I guess if I had to say, I would say it's beaten egg whites, sugar or honey, and sometimes other ingredients to have flavor or texture.
Okay, you know what I mean? That does sound like you rattled it right off of AI.
Now, brown nougat would be made with caramelized sugar instead of egg whites. Do you understand? So I think a Snickers bar has caramelized nougat and a Snickers with almond has egg white nougat.
So it's eggs, sugar, and what?
Very healthy.
Almond?
It's eggs and sugar, essentially. Sometimes honey. And sometimes nuts and sometimes candied fruits.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. And brown nougat.
I'm glad you knew that right off the dome. Absolutely.
Right off the dump? Is that what you said?
No, but I will start. Now I start it. Now
I knew
that starts.
That right off the dump.
That's when you go to the bathroom and you suddenly have a wealth of information because you've been reading the internet on the commode.
Erin, are you wearing a silk robe over a sweatshirt? Because I'm here for it.
I'm wearing a blanket.
Oh, it's a blanket.
Yes. Don't look like a praying mantis.
I love it.
But oh my God, it's so cold in LA.
Oh, you know what? I'm sick of that too. I'm sick of that too, because you want to know something? We don't have insulation in LA. That's why it
the
feels
problem.
So cold. Yeah.
Hey, what's temperature outside? Same temperature as inside, because nobody had any forethought to be like, maybe temperature will be different. And then secondly, my house, I live in the Pieta Scare, which is what I lovingly call the apartment underneath the house. That's built into the side of the mountain, which was built in the 60s by a slumlord. That's what I call home. It has paper thin walls. I can hear everything happening. And I can feel the wind, the cold coming in from under the doors. Like I'm basically in a cabin.
You know what though? You look chic.
Thank you.
You really do.
Did I ever tell you that I found that I went, because one day we're going to fix this. That's what I tell myself. Very delusional.
What does that mean? Fix what?
Fix this, pull everything out of here, rip it all out, put something new in.
I see. Yeah.
But I don't know when that's going to be. And but I got the paperwork to start. And did I tell you that the city of Los Angeles, and I might be putting myself in some sort of jeopardy here, okay. Has this listed as a barn?
Your home?
Yeah.
How many barns are there in LA?
It's just the unit that I'm in, which is underneath the house.
They're like, this was zoned for horses?
Mm-hmm. And pigs.
Or chickens?
Mm-hmm. And pigs.
And ducks?
Yeah.
And sheep?
Anything really you could think of that shits where it sleeps.
Right.
That's where I currently sleep.
Well, your home has always reminded me of a nativity. Frank,
Well, that's why I always wear the blankets inside, because I want to look like Jesus or Mary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? They're not going to help. They're not going to approve whatever you need.
No, they'll approve it, but just in a long, long time ago, when this house was built in 1923,
they were like, heads up, this is a barn.
This was a barn. And then in the 60s, someone was like, what if we took that barn and we turned it into the weirdest apartment you've ever seen in LA? Like, you've never seen a weirder apartment.
Yeah.
Like Charles Manson would be like, no, thanks. Yeah. That's what kind of apartment this is.
Right.
And then they said, what if we never changed it?
Oh.
And then Ollie and I said, what if we bought that? What if that's what we could afford in LA? And that's what we did. And that's my story. So that's my story of how I started wearing this blanket inside of a.
Looks good on you. I'll be honest.
Thank you.
It does a nice blanket and a nice sweatshirt.
Like you would be scared to see what's behind that.
I already am, to be honest with you. I don't like a closet that's even partially open.
Yeah, well,
like mine. I didn't open that today. I just got home. Oh, I did. I got my light out of there.
That's interesting. Yeah.
But I hate that it's open, but I don't want to do anything about it.
What are you going to do?
In there.
What are you going to do?
I don't want to get
put Nicole Scherzinger in there.
Honestly, Nicole.
With your doll that you have.
My Melania Trump doll?
Well, that'll be good for her. Don't you have another doll?
I think I probably
puppet? Don't you have a puppet?
I think I do. I think
Carol
so.
Channing?
No. I like that I was offended. You know I would love to have that. No, I don't have a Carol Channing.
I thought you had a Carol Channing doll.
Oh, no. That's just, I put that on my Grindr profile to get more hits. Do you know what I mean? Because I always say, like,
does it work?
The doll, if you pull on her string, the Carol Channing doll says, fuck me, and then sings that song about jam from the Alice in Wonderland TV miniseries.
Which goes...
Jam tomorrow, jam yesterday, but never ever jam today. Which I also heard is in Project 2025. That rule.
Wait a minute. What is this
Aaron,
series?
And then she turns into a sheep.
This is real?
We actually, if I have sharing privileges, I'm going to show you this shit right now.
Well, I don't know if we've been held captive by Sergio being at play practice.
I'm going to see.
Oh, no, you got it. Okay. Oh, look at that. Nougat. Song. There it is. The fucking receipts.
No. Carol Channing seems jammed tomorrow.
But what is Alice in Wonderland the series?
But never ever jam today. I said jam tomorrow, jam yesterday, but never ever jam today.
Yeah.
You can wish as you want, you can want as you wish. Still you better hear me say jam tomorrow.
Look at her.
Yesterday, but never ever jam today.
Yeah.
Not ashamed of mama.
Can you imagine watching this woman in a field doing this? As a child.
Oh, you can wish as you want, you can want as you wish. Still, you better hear me say, jam tomorrow, jam yesterday, but never.
This is like American Horror Story.
Just sexually assaulted that girl.
That did not get to the crux of it, okay?
Wait a minute.
I have to show you what happens at the end of this.
Wait. Explain to me what Alice in Wonderland 1985 is.
Oh, honey.
What is this?
It was a mini-series that they did on television of Alice in Wonderland. It is one of the craziest...
I must not have been allowed to watch this because I watched everything and I...
Do you want to see how this ends?
Yeah. Who is she playing, though? The Mad Hatter?
The cartoon isn't really based on the books that much, like some of it, but this was a true adaptation. And I think she plays like the Queen of Spades or something. Like it's not the Queen of Hearts, it's some other queen. And this is what happens at the end of this.
101.
I can't believe that.
You can't.
I hope your finger's better now.
Better. Much better.
you imagine? She turns into a fucking sheep. Can you imagine
That
they
sheep
showed
don't
this
want
to
to be there,
children?
first of all.
What'd you say?
That sheep don't want to be there.
No, and not in a hat.
Second, first of all, I have so many things to say. Number
I'll be honest,
one,
a sheep in a hat is actually very cute. Go ahead.
chic.
Yeah,
especially
a sheep,
on Easter.
A chic sheep, exactly.
I feel like my childhood, like I know my childhood was bad, but now I think it's worse because I was not exposed to this.
Oh no, it's better, Aaron. Believe me, this was a fever dream. I mean, it scared. That scene scared me so badly as a kid.
What does it like when you watch it now?
I'm immune to it, and I appreciate. Like, I really wonder if I were a kid, if I thought she would have been funny, or if I always would have been like, "What's happening here?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I can't even remember. What
I do think she's stunning.
She is. She's amazing.
But my other question is that I miss that kind of acting. I wish we could act like that again.
Me too. Just
because
hit the rafter.
everything's so this
And self-conscious. Yeah.
and I want people to emote on screen. I want them to their eyes to
Me
bug out. I
too.
want them
Give it to us, baby.
Give it to us, baby.
I'm with you.
That's the only thing. That's the only positive thing I'll say about.
Now, would you put that sheep in the barn that is your home? Would you put
Absolutely.
Carol Channing in those stables?
If you don't think I would, because I'm wondering if Carol Channing would exhaust me or put me to sleep. And I mean, exhaust me like mentally, or like
think
I
it
would
would
just
be
have to go to
exhausting.
sleep to just get away from it.
I do feel like you could walk out of the room at any point, though, and it would still happen, but you wouldn't have to be there.
What is her deal? What was
Great
her
question.
deal? She was a Broadway actress.
She was a Broadway
right?
actress. Hello, Dolly was her big thing on Broadway, and then Barbara Streisand did the movie. Then she was in Thoroughly Modern Millie, where she somehow got an Oscar nomination, even though it's a bizarre performance. And in that movie, she's famous for screaming, "Raspberries, raspberries," when in the script, it said, Carol makes raspberry, or Carol does raspberries or something, which is like
that.
like that. Like when you spit. But she just kept screaming raspberries. She didn't know what that meant. So the movie just goes, raspberries, raspberries. Unbelievable. And they just kept it.
She won an Oscar for that.
She got an Oscar nomination for it.
Oh, okay.
For that.
Well, she deserved it.
That's like when Tammy Sager once told us, I think on stage, about how she used to write for Psych like a long, long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like hurrying finishing a script. And then she wrote in there something about the case where she would put in jargon, you know what I fill in later.
Uh-huh.
And she knew that she'd be able to fill in later because it would have the red squigglies. You know what I mean? Like, this doesn't make sense grammatically.
Yeah.
Except then she went off to another job and had to turn in the script, and they ended up shooting that. And it was like, she was like, it's a real testament to the actor because he literally pulled it off. Like, she was like watching her episode and he was like, you know, something about the case. She was like, wait, what? So good.
Was Tony Shalhoub?
No, it wasn't Tony Shalhoub.
No,
That
the
was
other
Mom.
guy. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
You saw it. My brain did.
Listen, it's late here.
Brian, we have a Dateline this week that
Oh my God.
I can, which by the way, I think no wonder Carol Channing in Alice in Wonderland is on the brain.
It's true because actually Keith Morrison is the Carol Channing of investigative reporters. Similar haircut, similar vocal quality, and a storyteller.
Is the episode name not Down the Rabbit Hole?
It's called, oh my, yes. So that's the connection you meant. Got it. Yes. I thought you were trying to connect Keith Morrison.
Talk about someone, you know what you did? You just psyched that.
I did.
You
I
were
just
like,
psyched it.
absolutely will not
Absolutely.
take
Well done. Good point. By the way, I do want to point out, so Sergio writes our briefs for us sometimes, and instead of writing Keith Morrison is back, he wrote Keith Olbermann is back. Honey, not in this episode.
Nobody's well this week. Nobody's
well this week. This is a good Dateline, though. Really good. A lot of teens.
Okay. Which would scare you, I thought.
And yeah, that's what I mean. There's no pagan poetry, even though Keith Morrison is back, but he does quote Janet Jackson, and he also tells us all about who a man named William Shakespeare was.
Oh, that's
so that was an
exciting.
interesting
I
history
love being
lesson.
mansplained Shakespeare.
Me too. But I'm so glad he's back. It makes all the difference. And this one is available for all tiers. So that one's down the rabbit hole. Not to mention, Aaron, Grocery Season 4, our brand new grocery season, is available for everyone on the $10 and up tier. And this is our last episode of Season 4. You can also, by the way, buy the entire Season 4 collection on Patreon. But if you're a $10 and up subscriber, you'll get the episodes every week or for this season. So, and Aaron takes us to Keller's Farm Store in Albuquerque for some Timmy Crack corn.
And I do care.
You do care. And then, of course,
care.
our Vault episode, we release one of our oldest episodes every week. This is Vault episode 64. Aaron, it was post Super Bowl 2013. Sounds like a holiday to me. And you tell us how you were the brain behind the Velveeta Crumbelievable commercial.
Oh, yeah. Was that Velveeta? I thought Crumbelievable was something else.
And then we get Jack Nasty, because apparently one of the dirtiest conversations we've ever had on this podcast was during a segment on Playtex's Sexy Time Wipes.
I can't wait. I can't wait to relive that.
And finally, we're on YouTube, by the way. You can find us by searching Attitudes Pod, and you'll get the first act of our video episodes every week free. And then you can watch them in full on the Patreon, patreon.com/attitudes. Should we do this?
Want to get into some shoes?
Let's do it. I'm not alone in this sentiment. Apparently, some highly regarded psychiatrists, including some from Yale, have this to say. LGBTQ plus people, hear me loud, hear me proud, hear me clear, hear me queer. You are under, I relieve you and release you. You are under no obligation to engage with any family members who voted for Donald Trump over the holidays. I relieve you of that duty. You can be done with that this year. You can also tell them why. By the way, if you don't want to, you don't have to. But this really is enough. But this was a very much of a relief to hear for me, and I hope it can be for you. So according to LGBTQ Nation, Amanda Calhoun, who is a psychiatrist, was on Joy Reid's show on MSNBC. And they were talking about the holiday season. And of course, we remember in 2016, that holiday season, if you had family members or people that you were planning on spending the holidays who voted for Trump, and what a struggle that would be. I think in years past, I resorted to raising my voice. And I'm not in that place anymore. And whatever, everyone can be at their own place. But I did want to make it known that sort of people are terrified. And you, listener, have every right to be terrified, and you have every right to not feel like you need to bottle your feelings or emotions or your thoughts on your time off this year. And you can be open and loving if you choose in the way that you say that, but you're under no obligation to feel any more fire than you've already felt. And we don't know what this administration is going to bring. I think we could guess. I don't really want to go into that fully, but this was a year unlike 2016 in that it was 2016 still feels like it was a lark. I don't think we deeply knew yet. He lost the popular vote by millions. I don't think we deeply knew yet where people were at. And this election was even more obvious than then. Back then, people said, well, what is he going to do? Is he really going to do that? So we know now that he will and has. And we also know that literal hundreds of millions of dollars have been spent to disparage the LGBTQ plus community. I think something like $215 million just in this election cycle was spent against trans people, was spent against people who use they, them pronouns, was spent against people who really across the rainbow in the community. And when you have hundreds of millions of dollars behind something like this, you're entitled to your time. You understand? Reclaim it fully. And also on the Joy Reid show, which I thought was great, is Dr. Calhoun said and by the way, this applies to women too, obviously, cis women, trans women, obviously anything like that, said if you're going through a situation where you have family members, we have close friends who have voted in ways that are against you, against your livelihood, it's completely fine to not be around these people and to tell them why. to say, I have a problem with the way you voted because it went against my very livelihood, and I'm not going to be around you this holiday. I need to take some space for me. I'm going to repeat it because I think for anyone who has feelings of not wanting to spend time with their family and doesn't know what to say and doesn't want to start an argument, this can be a text, an email, or a conversation. And all you have to say is, I have a problem with the way that you voted because it went against my very livelihood, and I'm not going to be around you this holiday. I need to take some space for me. Thanks for understanding. That's it. But as Dr. Calhoun went on to say, I don't think you should force adults to be around people just because they're your family. And by the way, I think we've talked about it a lot. Establishing boundaries with your family, especially, never feels good until years later.
I'll tell you something. How about this? If you'd like to be my family member, you may earn that right. It is not going to be given to you. You do not get access for free. You will prove to yourself that you care about me and that you love me. And if you can't do that, like, I don't give a shit if we fucking share a double helix.
And these people have made the decision in their lives to affect your mental health so many times that it's okay for you to look out for your own.
They would rather,
if you choose to. I'm not trying to separate families.
But these people would rather vote in a way that does not challenge their own shitty beliefs,
right,
than vote in favor of someone they love's future.
Right.
Think about that.
I think in your time off and in being around people that you love, you should really be around people you love, and you should give yourself a break. I'll tell you, I love my family. I cannot do it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't need to fight. They know where I stand. I don't need to fight with them. I don't need to argue. Just simply say, here's where the line is. Here's how it was crossed, and can't do it.
Well, I also think what's more powerful than yelling, which, as you said, does nothing, is absolute removal of your existence from their vicinity, because that they have to then think about why you're not there. It's silence. They don't have anything to buck against because they're not getting defensive. They're just alone with their own thoughts.
Exactly.
And that is upsetting to them.
What I do recommend is being around people you love and not feeling guilty about it. Like, just remember, you've put other people's, I think especially as queer people and also for women though, I mean, these are communities that traditionally put people before themselves much of the time. They're constantly apologizing for who they are, or they were raised in a society where they had to serve other people and either dance around who they really were, or were raised by a society that said, like, you better make it nice. You better get along. You better make it happy. You better put a literal bow on it. And create some space for yourself in this, because it's your time off too. I'm a big believer in that, I think, especially this year. But after spending $250 million from the Trump campaign, the National Republican Senatorial Committee, to just excoriate the LGBTQ plus community, and especially trans people, that's a lot of money going into hating you. So please do yourself a favor.
Well, also it's like they don't even, at the end of the day, what's worse is that they don't even care. They're just using the LGBTQ plus community as a scapegoat so that they can do their own shitty fucking whatever robber baron shit, while everyone else has an enemy to distract them.
Yeah.
They're evil.
Yep. The Trevor Project has seen an increase in calls, texts, and chats by 700%. And concerns, especially with young people contacting them, has increased by 5,200%. So these are all people reaching out for help who need it. I encourage you to do the same if you need it, but you don't have to be a sacrificial lamb this year at your holiday. You don't have to do it.
No, and what you could do while you're spending your alone time or hanging out with friends is send a note to some of the amazing people who are going to be on the right side of history, who are newly elected, sending them emails and saying, hey, you got a fan? in insert your town. I'm rooting for you, and I just know that I have your back, and I'm sending you good vibes, and I love that you're in this position.
Sarah McBride's a great example of that, but there are many who could use
They
your
need
help
to
at this
hear
point.
your positive voices, because let me tell you, they're going to hear all the negative.
That's right.
You have to drown that shit out.
That's right.
And it'll make you feel fucking good to do it.
Exactly. And like, I don't need to harp on it. I don't need to explain more than that. I really just wanted today to be a message of take care of yourself now more than ever. Be around people you love. The holidays are so stressful. And really, I feel like it's such a waste to have time off, but to give up your time.
Oh,
And
it's gross. And then go back.
You just want this time to build
depleted.
yourself up. Exactly. So don't do it.
I also think I either stole this or you told me and I'm going to claim it as my own. But either way, it's theft.
Yeah. It wasn't
have you
me because
heard
I
the
don't
phrase-
I don't use criminal language.
Oh, okay. It's
Yeah. I
borrowing.
don't talk like, what'd you say?
It's borrowing.
See, that I like. Yeah. You could say borrowing and never returning. I
I'm
would
checking this out
appreciate
of the
that.
library, the word library.
Correct. Yeah. That's fine.
When you treat yourself the way that you want to be treated, then other people will see you. You're your own example of how you want to be treated. And so if you tell
Exactly.
your family, like, sorry, yo, I can't, you fucked up and you lose me because this is my boundary. It will send a message of like, oh my God, I didn't even consider you. Now I'm going to consider you because you're considering you.
Other activities you could do on Thanksgiving, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
you could do it in an elevator.
I'm going to tell you something. I got sex in an elevator.
I'm so jealous because
No,
I love people who've done it in an elevator.
don't be jealous. It's so gross. It is so like, you're like, ooh, we're going to get caught. No, you're not going to get caught. You're going to embarrass some child. You're going to scar a child. That's what you're going to do. And then you're also, do you know how many people pick their fucking noses in an elevator and then put their hands on the bars? Do you know how many people scratch their genitals and then put their hand on the bars? Clean the lint out of their belly button and push the buttons. Everything your vagina or balls are touching is just coated in boogers.
Another thing you could do is pretend that your foot is a phone. On Thanksgiving, you could do that.
How do you do that?
You bring your foot up next to your ear.
Can you do that?
Let's see. Yeah. Hello?
So far away.
You could all, how dare you, Aaron? Okay, here's what I actually
Why don't you
want.
wear socks to record? That's very disrespectful.
I couldn't today. My dogs were barking. But
Oh.
here's what I'll say.
They make you wear loafers for 911.
Aaron, yes. Aaron, if for some reason you can't get me into the full split when I'm buried, I would like for both of my legs to be talking on for both of my
I
feet
can
to
do
be
that.
talking on two phones.
Yeah.
So where my legs curve up to my ears and I'm talking on two phones with my feet.
I guess my question is, if I couldn't get you in the splits, how do you think I'm going to get you in that?
You know what? If putting me in the splits as I'm buried is fun for you and you're like, hell, Johnny, we should keep going. Shoot, Johnny, let's get these legs higher. If for some reason that feeling comes over you,
Yes.
no, that's fine. You can keep going.
I have your
but
permission.
I want the feet to end up being next to my ears in that kind of in a bow split.
Okay.
So
I
it
love
looks like I'm talking on two phones.
I love
as
this.
I'm being lowered into the
It is
ground.
going to look like you were in some kind of macabre accident, but that's okay.
Well, listen,
They
if
won't
you and
care in
Johnny,
heaven, Brian.
if you and Johnny can do it, I'm up for it.
Shoot, Johnny?
Yeah,
Hell yeah, Johnny can do it.
Johnny can do it. Yeah.
Johnny can do anything.
Yeah. Perfect.
Brian, 4B is not just your first walk-up apartment in Manhattan, 1997.
I'm a fucking obsessed with 4B.
Obsessed.
Obsessed.
Obsessed. Okay, so if you don't know what 4B is, it's the 4 no's, and it's coming out of South Korea. And it stands for no marriage, no childbirth, no dating, no sex. Now, this is hardcore punk ass shirking of traditional roles. And
Rejecting men.
I'm fucking here for it.
Yeah, it's
I'm
pretty
here for it.
badass. Yeah.
Now, these women are becoming essentially politically asexual. and cutting all these things out of their lives so that they can freely explore who they are outside of who they are expected to be in relation to men. So this movement started in the late 2010s and was set ablaze thanks to the gasoline of feminism being introduced into South Korea. And then that mixed with economic insecurity that younger women were feeling, mixed with systemic gender inequality. All that equals 4B.
I love it. I would be able to do a 3B.
I could do a 3B.
Yeah.
And I have some tips for people. I have some tips for people who want to do 3B at the end of this. So according to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, known as the OECD, they rank last among the 38 member countries of the OECD for gender pay gap. South Korean women in the workforce make 31% less than their male counterparts.
That is unconscionable.
Worse than America.
I had no idea. That's awful.
And guess what? Thanks to Donald Trump, the movement is coming to the U.S. So on Wednesday, Google searches for 4B spiked 450%, which means
I had never heard about it until
client.
This election. Right. Yeah, exactly.
There are plenty of women who voted for Trump. Okay.
Yeah.
And the 4B movement does really nothing to teach them any lessons.
Sure.
And if they'd like to learn a lesson, they can do the work and then come to me and I'll hold their hand. But I'm absolutely not about to do re-education with Trump women.
Sure.
Like,
no.
And spin.
Why bother?
Yeah. No. There are plenty of men who voted for Kamala.
Yeah,
plenty of straight white men.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Certainly not enough.
Not enough.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I'm not sure. And to Brian's point, there needs to be a 4B. There could definitely be a 3B. And I don't know how I feel about that. It's like psychologists being interviewed about 4B was like, I don't know. Doesn't it hurt you to not have sex, to deny yourself sexuality?
That would be my thing. Is like, as long as you're getting, that would be hard. I think that would be the hard one.
I don't know if these psychologists know about the pleasure chest in West Hollywood.
That's true. They've got a glittery heart right on their brick wall.
Anything you want to put in your holes is in there.
That's right.
This is not an advertisement for the pleasure chest, but it might as well be. But I understand, like, having sex with a 5-pronged dildo is not the same as intimacy.
Having a sweaty,
just balls
chubby,
slap in your butt crack.
Right. Right.
In whatever way you want that to happen.
Absolutely.
I'd hate for someone to be denied that.
Oh God, me too. To be denied a glass of warm rosé and someone smelling like Cheetos, that would suck.
But they haven't eaten Cheetos?
Right. That's just the constant odor.
Yeah.
Someone who you have to ask, do you own hand soap? Because when I go in your bathroom, it's just water in a soap bottle.
What are we going to do about that?
I maybe have gotten one sud out of that hand soap in the past 6 months I've come over and had sex with you.
Shoot, Johnny, you come in here smelling like Cheetos and you don't got no goddamn hand soap.
Okay.
What am I supposed to do in here, Johnny?
Yeah, honestly, Johnny.
Shoot, Johnny, don't you want to shoot your load?
Johnny, listen. I used to say, Johnny, shoot. Do you understand? Because you would. Now I'm saying, shoot, Johnny, because this is a bummer. You smell like Cheetos nonstop. You have 5 layers of oil on your face.
I don't think you've ever flossed the bottom row.
You didn't know until I told you that shampoo and conditioner can come in separate bottles.
I'm afraid to put tweezers down your drain. I don't know what I'm going to find.
Exactly. Yeah.
Shoot, Johnny.
No,
Get your
Johnny.
shit together, Johnny.
Come on, Johnny.
Frame some art, Johnny.
Exactly.
Frame some art and put it on some wall, Johnny.
Please. And for God's sake, take down that Annie Hall poster.
Shoot, Johnny.
Shoot.
Okay, so if you're not dating Shoot Johnny, but you're dating someone who maybe voted for Kamala and uses
a shampoo and a conditioner.
Shampoo. Soft soap? Is that a soap brand?
Yeah.
The one that everyone has in shitty bathrooms.
As long as the bottle's full of actual soap, I'm in.
I'm in. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd rather a taint smell like soft soap than Cheetos.
Beyond.
Okay. So if you're dating someone who cleans themselves, let's say himself, because this is to punish men for the 4B movement, straight men. If you're dating a straight guy and he voted for Kamala and shoot Johnny, he looks like fucking Timothy Chalamet, but in a way that doesn't make you like disrespect him.
Right. Yeah.
I can't get over. There's a scene in Dune where Timothy Chalamet is running and he looks like a Muppet, and I've never gotten over it.
I do love watching people run in movies because it does give you a sense of whether they ever have. Do you know what I mean? There's that movie or the TV series that Nicole Kidman did with Liev Schreiber. I forgot what it was called.
Yes. The lead of the rich people in the Hamptons.
Yes.
Whatever
so the lead
the
woman
wig
in that
with
who's
the
very
wigs.
good. Wigs. The lead person in Wigs who was very good. There's a scene of her running on the beach and you're like, you've never done this. And by the way, you're gorgeous. It's not a slight on you. It's just, you've never done this ever. It's obvious.
I can't stop thinking about all the people that I've seen run in movies and how
I know,
they
and it makes you wonder, like,
but I'm sorry, if Bo Derek can do it, then you can do it.
Absolutely.
And that's not
Halle
a dig on
Berry.
Bo Derek.
No.
But she should not be having dreadlocks in that movie.
Obviously.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you are dating a straight man who voted for Kamala, who washes his taint and knows how to run.
Yeah.
Okay. 4 requirements.
Yeah.
Doesn't move his arm in a weird way when he runs.
Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't run like Fozzie
He
Bear.
runs like all the limbs are actually attached to him.
Yeah. Like it's not like 4 different bodies that have been pasted together.
It's
moving
not
on different.
Carol Channing
No.
mid acid trip singing about jam. Your body doesn't move like that. Yeah.
It's not that. If you're dating someone like that and you're like, but I want to be 4B, this is the list you give him. It's called 4B with a UB addendum. So UB is what you better be if you want to get past 4B.
It's like the UB40 cover band, UB4B.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you want to have some red wine.
Yeah.
With a woman who is absolutely hell-bent on her having her rights, this is what you need to do. Okay.
That's right. Okay.
So just hand this list to any of these men and say, you want this pussy? You want to get past this 4B pussy? Then you be 4B this list.
Okay. Is that clear?
And if that's not clear, then they
Go
can't.
to hell.
Yeah, they need to be patient with you while you
need
figure
to
out
retake
how this
algebra.
phrasing goes. Yeah.
Which, by the way, is an Arabic word. So there.
What is it?
Algebra. Anything that starts AL is probably an Arabic word.
Oh.
When I was a kid. Okay. For my
Albert Brooks?
So except for that one.
Okay, here's the list. You need to show up having read Susan Faluti's Backlash.
Okay.
You get a lower back tattoo that reads, misogyny is a cage for everyone.
I like it.
Okay. When someone is sexist in our midst, you break out the bell hooks, quote, sometimes people try to destroy you precisely because they recognize your power, not because they don't see it, but because they see it and they don't want it to exist.
Okay.
Boom.
Love it.
You print out your Planned Parenthood receipts, donations, and you bring it to wherever we go.
Show me the receipts.
Bring the receipts. I don't want to hear talk anymore.
Show me the receipts.
I want to see the papers.
Me
Okay.
too.
You need to believe that feminism is a movement and not just a philosophy, which means you're not going to wax philosophical about why we lost the election, how we could, what Kamala did wrong, all this stuff. I would like to see you out in those streets doing
you need
the
to
good
start
work.
using Amazing Grace body soap by Philosophy.
Yes. I'm an Aesop gal.
I am too. So
I
don't
like
use
the
that kind.
rose pepper
Kimmy,
thing.
you want to know something crazy? I'm also a Jack Black guy. Never thought I would be, and here I am. Not
Jack-
the actor. There's also a men's like body bath line called.
Wait, did I ever tell you about my friend who hated all celebrities? He was a Pilates trainer, hated all celebrities. And I said, come on, man. There's got to be somebody who's nice. And he goes, Jack Black. That's it.
I believe it.
But that Jack Black does a different thing.
It's not the guy who does the body stuff.
I want you to understand that this is not proving to your pals that you know every detail about the storming of Normandy. Okay? It's not about knowing things about feminism. It is an active movement. It's about doing things in service of feminism.
Right.
Okay? I want to hear your favorite Judy Tenuta joke.
Right. Yeah, why not?
What females are you? What's on your Mom Rock Spotify playlist?
Exactly. Instead of watching Ninja Turtles, did you ever watch that woman who dresses up like a doll? I don't know her name.
Put that on
But
the
she has,
list,
like, a
Brian.
red
It's
nose.
specific enough to really think people are going to pass this test.
And sometimes she pretends she's a doll, but she's a grown-up. She's an adult woman.
You're talking about the woman who's was on PBS doing the children's show where she like was in a adult-sized baby chair.
But had like Cabbage Patch hair.
Yes, I'm on board.
Are you on board with her?
Now I'm on board.
Thank you.
She's like, what if Raggedy Ann had adult limbs?
Right. And weirdly, like a nose that was painted kind of like
that
a dog.
woman was disturbed. Let's be honest. I don't think she was well. And then, but then she found a way to channel that into a job. And I love that.
That's true. Okay. So her name was, oh, never mind. I can't tell. It was either Jessica Chastain, but I don't think it was. Was it?
No, but I can't be sure.
I don't know who it was. I can't find it.
I'm just a dumb bitch.
No, me too.
Wait,
I can't find her.
80s,
Anyway,
look up 80s.
I think she was more like 90s, wasn't she? 90s PBS woman doll.
She's not a doll. She's she's like a Raggedy Ann
What's her name?
character.
No, it wasn't Arthur the cartoon.
No, I don't
the big comfy couch. That was the
That's
name of
what
the
it is.
show.
Did you find her? Will you share it?
Yeah, of course. Oh my God. Okay, hang on. I'm sharing it. So this was her.
If you're
as
too
a
young
doll.
to know, you have no idea what you're in for. Oh my God, there she is.
Yeah.
And Molly, a clouded big dolly on the big comfy couch.
Yeah.
Season 7. She did this for 7 years at the very
Morning,
least.
Molly. Welcome to a brand new day. Oh, hi.
So if your man
I'm
doesn't
sorry, the
come over,
perspective is so wrong. If she's playing a baby or a doll,
She's playing a
still
doll,
too-
Aaron.
She's too small, right?
yeah, actually. But can I say something?
Yeah.
If your man doesn't come over dressed like this and quoting this show, that's deeply fucked up.
Let's see what he's going to be quoting.
You're here just in time to have fun with Molly and me.
Okay, well, that
I know
sounds like he has drugs
exactly
on
what
him.
we're going to do today.
It does.
Donuts.
No.
That's definitely
We're not going to have donuts for breakfast. We're going to do something that's healthy and good for us.
Kick him out.
Kick him
We're
out.
going to go for a nice long walk.
Well, I need
This
to
woman's
see your
good-
arms
lucky
when
she
you
didn't
walk.
find herself on the ass end of a house with those
Seriously.
socks.
Seriously. Poor thing. So yeah, if your man doesn't come over saying that shit to you tonight,
Doesn't say, do you want to come out with me and Molly?
there's the door.
Do you want to party with Molly?
Exactly.
We're getting donuts.
Exactly.
4B is hardcore. And let me say 2 things that can be true about it. It's necessary for some reason. For some women. I get it. I dated back in the 90s in Texas and early 2000s. Slim Pickens doesn't even cover it. The people I would go out with, who I legitimately did not have one thing in common with, besides the fact that we both owned a CD of Alice in Chains, that's not enough. Bleak House, USA. Okay. So I get it. You're in parts of the country. Don't fuck these guys. But for those people out there, it's just a little, they want to do a 3B sitch, please the list. And don't forget, big comfy couch. Do you want to come party with Molly?
Exactly. Any donuts tomorrow?
I need donuts tomorrow. These motherfuckers, you don't ask them anything. You hand them the list and then you go, you figure it out.
Yeah.
And when they bing bong, come on over, bing bong.
Right.
Time to fuck. You go.
Did you mean ding dong?
I sure did.
Yeah. I wasn't sure. I don't know how it works. Yeah.
It works differently when you live in a barn.
It's true. It's true. We've got some Spotify and Apple podcast reviews.
Oh, very radio of you. Are you auditioning to when
Yeah,
cool.
I am. Rojogan. That's me.
Bro joking.
Yeah.
By the way, I dare you. I dare you to
imagine?
start
I want
a
to now.
fucking podcast that is so liberal and nasty and call it Rojogan.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. Maybe I will.
It's a character and just have people on talking in that way.
Yeah. We don't deserve
By the way,
y'all.
Rojogan with a bunch of gay men talking about
Oh my
pussy
God, the
and
Rojogan experience.
creatine.
That is such a good idea. I only have queer guests on. That's hilarious.
All playing bro characters.
Oh, fuck.
Do it. It would
And
be
I should
so
just
easy.
like hear what he talks about every day and then just have my own conversation about the same topics.
That's all it is. You just mirror everything he says, and then you guys just make fun of him. Although,
love that.
if you know about this, and Brian's going to do it you should do it under the dark of night.
I'll do it under well, no, I would do it under our Patreon probably.
Oh yeah, do it on the Patreon.
Yeah.
Can I play a character?
Yeah,
Can
duh.
I play
You
the dumb
created
bitch
it.
who loves all the shit that they're passing out?
Absolutely. You created it, Aaron. Of course you can be part of the experience.
Yeah, I want to be the dumbass bitch.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I want to be the Trump.
You can be Nicole Scherzinger,
I'll be Nicole Scherzinger.
who pops in every week. We don't deserve y'all 5 stars from
And when I
E-Crew-
come on, I go, I love this part right here.
Yeah. Oh my God, I forgot about that song. That was a good song.
Not anymore.
Nope. E-Crew's design, 5 stars. We don't deserve y'all. The post-election pod was comfort to our broken hearts. Thank you both for being amazing and angry with us. I got to be honest with you. That was a really cathartic experience for us too. And I'm glad people, I don't know if enjoyed is the right word, but maybe felt a little heard. No longer 29, not for hermits, 5 stars. Refresh the feed all day, hoping for post-election recap. Thanks for keeping us aware but hopeful, enraged but engaged. Looking out for ourselves and each other is not a spectator sport. You all are the best around. It's very nice.
Kittens.
Yeah, please, you.
Says, thank you for sharing your laugh. The 2 long lost best friends you can't live without. Your favorite podcast.
Love that.
Aaron and Brian, I said my name first, even though it's listed second,
It's so
have gotten me
nice.
through some dark times the past decade and always give me the belly laughs I need.
And Pretty and Smart says to us, thank you so much for today. I love you dearly for what you do and how you do it. We also got many nice Instagram messages. Thank you for being with us this week. We love you even more.
Thank you for being a fiend.
Absolutely. And I'm sorry that I had to put my feet up to my ears and pretend it was a phone, but Aaron gave me no choice. I was
I'm
backed into
not-
a corner.
Mad we did it.
Me neither. And you know my requests at the end of my life.
Oh, I write them all down. I chisel them in rocks so I'll never forget.
Perfect.
Just like the 10 Commandments. When people want to put the 10 Commandments up at the Capitol buildings, I go, if you want to do that, then I'm putting up Brian's death splits requests,
Thank you.
which I also have.
Eye for an
carved in
eye.
stone.
And that is very Old Testament. Eye for
Yeah.
an eye.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing your laugh.
Thank you for sharing your laugh.